David Walliams, a name synonymous with British comedy, television, and children's literature, has had a career that spans decades, filled with triumphs, controversies, and a determination to rise above the storm. Known for his unique sense of humor and the ability to bring both joy and laughter to millions of fans around the world, Walliams was considered by many to be one of the brightest stars in the British entertainment industry. His journey to fame was a combination of talent, grit, and the ability to make others laugh at the absurdities of life. However, Walliams's career was not without its moments of scandal. One of the most significant events that rocked his public persona came when derogatory remarks he made in a private conversation were leaked, leading to a public outcry and a legal battle that threatened to destroy his career. In this expanded version, we will delve deeper into the life of David Walliams, his career on Britain's Got Talent, the controversy that led to his departure from the show, his fight to clear his name, and the subsequent growth of his other projects. We will also take a look at his past and the events that shaped the man he became. The charismatic judge of Britain's Got Talent. David Walliams's career took a significant turn when he became a judge on Britain's Got Talent, BGT, in 2012. The show, which has since become a staple of British television, brought together a panel of judges who would help decide which of the countless contestants would make it to the coveted stage of the live finals. It wasn't just about talent, it was also about personality, and David Walliams had plenty of that to go around. Known for his larger-than-life personality, infectious laughter, and witty remarks, Walliams quickly became a fan favorite. His chemistry with fellow judge Simon Cowell was magnetic, with the two often engaging in friendly banter that added to the show's appeal. While Cowell played the role of the stern, sometimes cynical judge, Walliams brought a sense of warmth and charm that resonated with audiences across the UK. His humor, while sometimes a bit cheeky, was never mean-spirited. This juxtaposition of personalities made the show more enjoyable and helped Britain's Got Talent become a household name. Throughout his time on the panel, Walliams demonstrated an uncanny ability to connect with contestants, offering words of encouragement and humor that often helped ease the nerves of those performing. His ability to laugh at himself and not take things too seriously made him incredibly relatable to viewers, and he quickly became one of the most beloved figures in British entertainment. The scandal that shook his career. Despite his widespread popularity, Walliams's career on Britain's Got Talent was derailed by a scandal that broke in 2020. The controversy began when a recording surfaced of Walliams making derogatory remarks about contestants during a break in filming at the London Palladium. The conversation, which was never intended for broadcast, was captured by microphones that were used to record the judges' comments between auditions. In one of the incidents, Walliams referred to a male contestant using an extremely offensive term, the C word. Later, he made a vile comment about a female contestant, suggesting that she was the type of person who believed others were interested in them, when, in reality, they were not. These remarks, which were meant to be private, were exposed to the public when they were leaked, and the fallout was immediate. The comments sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, with many fans and critics alike expressing outrage. Walliams, who had built a career based on bringing joy and positivity, now found himself at the center of a scandal that tarnished his image. The leak raised significant questions about the ethics of reality television and the treatment of contestants. Some argued that the production company behind Britain's Got Talent had violated the privacy of the judges by recording private conversations, while others felt that Walliams's remarks were inexcusable, regardless of the context. Walliams's apology and the aftermath faced with mounting public criticism, David Walliams was forced to issue a public apology. In his statement, he acknowledged that his comments were inappropriate and that they had caused distress to the individuals involved. He emphasized that the remarks were part of private conversations that were never meant to be heard by the public. But he also recognized that there was no excuse for the language he used. His apology was heartfelt, and he expressed regret for the pain his words had caused to those affected. Despite his apology, the damage had already been done. The scandal led to Walliams's departure from Britain's Got Talent. His contract was not renewed for the 2023 series, and former Strictly Come Dancing judge Bruno Tonioli was brought in to replace him. The departure marked the end of an era for Britain's Got Talent, as Walliams had been a judge on the show for a decade. The legal battle, a fight for his reputation. While Walliams' public image took a major hit, he was not about to let the scandal define him. In an effort to protect his reputation and seek justice, Walliams took legal action against Fremantle Media, the production company behind Britain's Got Talent. He filed a high court case for the misuse of private information and for breaching data protection laws under the UK General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, and the Data Protection Act of 2018. Walliams accused the company of causing him psychiatric harm and financial loss as a result of the leak. The legal proceedings were complex, but Walliams remained determined to hold the company accountable for the breach of his privacy. He also argued that the public leak had caused significant distress, both personally and professionally. The case was closely followed by the media, with many speculating about the outcome. Eventually, Walliams and Fremantle reached an amicable resolution, with the company issuing a formal apology and agreeing to settle the case. The production company acknowledged that it had made a mistake in allowing the private conversations to be released and expressed regret for the distress it had caused. The settlement allowed Walliams to move forward, but it also forced Fremantle to review its production practices to ensure that similar breaches would not occur in the future. A glimpse into David Walliams' early life and career. David Walliams' journey to fame was not an overnight success. Born in Surrey, England in 1971, Walliams grew up in a middle-class family. His father worked as a transport engineer, while his mother was a lab technician at a local school. Although the family was not wealthy, they made sacrifices to ensure that Walliams could attend the independent Reigate Grammar School, where he developed a love for comedy and performance. As a child, Walliams was a bit shy but had a natural inclination for entertaining others. At just 13 years old, he began writing sketches for school assemblies, and by the time he was 18, he had landed his first paying comedy gig. It was during these early years that he met Matt Lucas, who would become his comedy partner for life. Together, they formed the duo Little Britain, which would go on to become one of the most successful and iconic British comedies of all time. The duo's groundbreaking work on Little Britain earned them widespread recognition, with their unique brand of humor, which often pushed the boundaries of good taste, resonating with a wide audience. The show's success marked the beginning of Walliams's rise to fame, but it was his ability to transition between different roles, actor, comedian, writer, and judge, that solidified his place in the entertainment world. David Walliams as an author and television star. In addition to his work on Little Britain, Walliams found success as a best-selling author. His children's books, including The Boy in the Dress and Gangsta Granny, became incredibly popular, with millions of copies sold worldwide. Walliams's ability to write engaging stories that appealed to both children and adults allowed him to build a diverse career, extending his reach beyond the world of television. Walliams also continued to act, appearing in a variety of television series and film adaptations of his books. In 2015, he took on the role of the Rotten Dinner Lady in the adaptation of Billionaire Boy, which was well received by both audiences and critics. His work as an author and actor allowed him to maintain a presence in the public eye, even after his departure from Britain's Got Talent. A comedic journey from school plays to national fame. David Walliams's passion for performance began at a very young age. In fact, his first brush with the world of acting came when he was just 11 years old. It was during a school play where he was cast as a queen in a production of All the King's Men. Walliams recalls this moment vividly, stating that stepping off the stage that night filled him with a joy that was immeasurable. It was then that he realized his life's calling. He was destined for the stage, and that the art of making people laugh would become his lifelong pursuit. Walliams's comedic sensibilities were further honed during his time at the National Youth Theatre, where he met Matt Lucas, his lifelong friend and comedy partner. The duo, known for their outrageous sketches and irreverent humor, bonded over their shared love of British comedy legends like Monty Python and Rowan Atkinson. Their chemistry was undeniable, and it wasn't long before they began writing their own material. However, their initial foray into television was not without challenges. In the early stages of his career, Walliams appeared in various TV projects, but success was slow. Pilots and shows like MASH and Peas, a comedy about a boy band, failed to take off. His career seemed to be stuck in a rut, and Walliams began appearing in small roles in established series like Casualty, EastEnders, and The Bill. Despite these setbacks, his enthusiasm and innate comedic talent kept him afloat, and he remained determined to make his mark. A breakthrough with Little Britain. The turning point in David Walliams' career came when he and Matt Lucas created Little Britain, a surreal sketch comedy show that would go on to revolutionize British television. The show, with its mix of outrageous characters, political incorrectness, and sharp social commentary, became a cultural phenomenon. Little Britain became a staple in British households and launched both Walliams and Lucas into the stratosphere of fame. David Walliams's talent for creating memorable characters was unmatched. His portrayal of Vicky Pollard, a teenage girl from a working-class background, became iconic, while his role as Emily Howard, a man who believes he is a woman, showcased his ability to perform in drag with wit and humor. These characters, and others, brought Walliams national recognition, and Little Britain cemented his place in British comedy history. Yet, despite his comedic success, Walliams began to face internal struggles that would soon become evident to the public. Behind the laughter and flamboyant characters, Walliams was dealing with serious personal issues, including a deep battle with depression and his own insecurities. Mental health struggles, a battle behind closed doors. Although David Walliams was a comedic force, behind the scenes, he was grappling with mental health issues that he would later open up about in interviews and public appearances. Walliams has always been open and candid about his struggles with depression, a condition he battled for much of his life. In 2019, during an appearance on Bear Grylls' Mission, Walliams shared an intensely personal account of his struggles with mental health, revealing that he had attempted to take his own life in the past. In a raw and vulnerable moment, Walliams explained how becoming a father to his son, Alfred, had been a transformative experience that pulled him out of the darkest period of his life. He spoke about how the arrival of his son gave him a renewed sense of purpose and gave him a reason to fight against the despair that had clouded his mind for so long. However, his depression was not something that magically disappeared with fatherhood. Walliams has often spoken about how he has battled with feelings of intense loneliness, fear, and self-doubt. In his 2012 autobiography, Camp David, Walliams described the overwhelming sense of sadness he felt, particularly in the early hours of the morning, when the world was quiet and still. He described how depression would often make him feel as though he were trapped in his own mind, unable to escape from the darkness. One of the most harrowing moments in Williams's life came during his university years, when he attempted suicide. He recalled how, at Christmas, he returned home from university, only to find himself overwhelmed by a sense of hopelessness. That evening, his mother, Kathleen, found him lifeless in his bed, having taken an overdose. Williams later described how seeing the devastation in his mother's eyes was a turning point for him. He acknowledged the deep pain his actions caused her and expressed profound guilt over his attempt. But it was her unyielding love and support that ultimately helped him begin the slow process of healing. The strain of fame. A turning point, despite his success on Little Britain and other projects, fame brought its own set of challenges for Williams. His life in the public eye was often difficult to reconcile with his inner turmoil. Williams's flamboyant persona and comedic performances often masked the deep feelings of self-loathing and anxiety he harbored. He struggled with the pressure of being constantly in the spotlight, and his mental health issues continued to surface in different ways. One particularly difficult period for Williams came after his departure from Britain's Got Talent, where he had been a beloved judge for over a decade. The scandal that surrounded his departure, when private conversations he had with fellow judges were leaked, caused a public backlash and further exacerbated his struggles with depression. In his court papers, Williams alleged that the leaked conversations caused him significant psychiatric harm and financial loss. The scandal left him feeling humiliated and, at times, isolated. The breach of his privacy was a reminder of the vulnerability that comes with fame, and it sent him into another spiral of despair. In a 2019 interview, Williams explained that during this period, he felt utterly alone. He was facing intense scrutiny from the public, and the weight of the controversy was immense. He admitted that there were times when he considered the idea of ending it all, but he also acknowledged that he had learned how to cope with these feelings over time. The power of creativity. Redemption through acts of courage. Throughout his life, Williams has used creativity as a tool to cope with his mental health struggles. From his comedy routines to his children's books, Williams channeled his emotions into his work, which became a source of catharsis and self-expression. One of his most notable acts of redemption came in 2006, when he swam across the English Channel for the Sport Relief charity. The feat, which raised over £1 million, was an act of personal triumph for Williams, as he pushed his body and mind to the limit. For him, it symbolized his journey toward self-acceptance and redemption. In addition to his charitable efforts, Williams has also used his platform to speak openly about mental health. By sharing his own struggles, he has helped break the stigma surrounding mental illness and encouraged others to seek help. His openness about his battle with depression and his journey toward healing has made him a powerful advocate for mental health awareness. Personal life and relationships. A search for connection. While Williams's career was marked by both triumph and controversy, his personal life has been equally complex. As someone who has struggled with feelings of loneliness and self-doubt, Williams has spoken candidly about his relationships and how they shaped his sense of identity. He often reflects on his first serious relationship with actress Katie Carmichael, whom he met during his time at drama school. Williams described how she saved him from the darkest moments of his life, providing him with the love and confidence he had always sought. Despite his deep affection for women, Williams has also spoken about his struggles with his own identity and sexuality. He admitted that he questioned his sexual orientation, given his effeminate manner, but ultimately realized that he was attracted to women. He revealed that while he had sometimes wished he were gay, because it would have been easier to conform to societal expectations, his love for women was undeniable. Williams's openness about his sexuality and his personal journey of self-discovery has resonated with many, particularly those in the LGBTQ+ community who have struggled with similar issues of identity and self-acceptance.